Hi, hello, it's Cassie Felix here in my bright, sunshiny room and filming a quick video, a book talk for you guys before I go see the movie. Divergent by Veronica Roth. I'm really excited about this book talk and I've prepared a script so I won't take 20 minutes of your time. Let's get started. Okay, so if you haven't read this book or seen the movie, let me break it down for you. This is a dystopian trilogy. The book, Divergent, follows our main character, Beatrice, later shortened to Tris Pryor. She is born into the faction of abnegation. There are 5 factions that you can be born into that all feel differently about what are important things. For example, candor are the honest, abnegation are the selfless, there's erudite the intelligent, dauntless the brave, and amity the peaceful. When you're born into whatever faction your parents chose. But when you're 16, you take this aptitude test that will say which of the 5 factions you'd be best suited for. The next day is the choosing ceremony, and at that point it is ultimately up to you what faction you choose. Now, if you choose a faction that's different from the faction that you came from, you'll most likely be disowned by your family and looked down upon by the members of your old faction. Once you go through the choosing ceremony, you're launched into initiation, which is where the faction that you are now a part of will see whether they want to keep you and whether you can stay in that faction or whether you will be factionless, which is the equivalence of homelessness. This is the set of events that we follow Triss as she goes through. She never thought she belonged in abnegation, not like her brother Caleb, but she's always trying to force herself to be selfless. She thinks that she should be in some kind of different faction. She doesn't really feel like she belongs sometimes, but she ultimately thinks that she'll stay in abnegation. The day she takes the aptitude test, she thinks she's as nervous as she should be. She thinks that everything's going to turn out to be fine. Her nervousness is amplified once she gets her results back, however. She is told that she is different, that she is divergent, and it is extremely dangerous. Divergence is when the aptitude test cannot narrow your faction choice down to ultimately 1, but instead 3. Her faction choices are abnegation, dauntless, and erudite. Because she dislikes the erudite's stuck-up, snooty attitude and how they treat the abnegation, she rules erudite out immediately. At the choosing ceremony, she chooses dauntless, and to her shock, her brother chooses erudite. And her father is extremely angry, but her mother hugs her and says before the choosing ceremony that she'll love her no matter what she chooses. At that point, Triss almost feels like her mother knows that she's divergent. She was told by the instructor that gave her the aptitude test not to tell anybody because it is extremely dangerous and she just doesn't know who she can trust, because divergence is something that people will kill you over. But she chooses dauntless, and she's shocked when her brother chooses erudite, and this is an important moment where she notices, for the first time out of many, how unobservant she was in her life. Is that even a word? Unobservant? I don't know. But with this not being observant thing, she notices how focused she was on trying to be selfless. So focused that she didn't notice anyone else. She didn't notice her brother reading books all the time and hiding them. So after the choosing ceremony, we follow Triss as she goes through initiation and tries to figure out whether she truly belongs in Dauntless or if she made a horrible mistake. If you don't think this story is interesting yet, try to throw in a cute instructor who she's constantly trying to prove herself to and ignore feelings for, and you've got the majority of this story. Also corruption in government, because that's always interesting, and you've pretty much got the basics of this story. If you haven't read this book yet, and you think that what I just said sounds interesting, you should really pick it up from the library. I would say read the book first, don't watch the movie first, but if you've already watched the movie and you think that this book sounds interesting, then you should read it anyway, even though you might have already seen it, because you should read it, and books are nice, and this is a good book. Happy birthday. And if you've already read this book, or if you just want to get spoiled because that's something that people want to do, then you should stick around and I will shortly, briefly discuss my favorite parts of this and what I'm hoping to see in the movie. And so that's about it. If you want to stick around and listen, then stick around and we can talk about this together. And if you haven't read the book, go read it. Don't get spoiled. Being spoiled is not nice. Trust me, I already read spoilers by accident on Legion and I cried. And I'm not gonna spoil you, but just let me tell you, it sucks. So, go read it, or if you've already read it and seen it, stick around and let's talk about it. I'm just really excited to see the movie. I really want to see the chemistry on screen between Triss and Four. I ship them so hardcore. I definitely want to see the scene where she almost gets thrown into the chasm or chasm, or however you say that. I definitely want to see Eric and just see how he is portrayed. So I'm really excited to see this movie because I wanted to read the book before I saw the movie. And I'm just really excited, and I'm trying to think what else I want to see. There's so many things that I'm missing. I definitely want to see certain parts of the war scenes, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel if they show her parents dying and her emotions with that. I know that the events of the book lead straight into Insurgent, and so I hope the movie ending isn't too abrupt, but if it is, I'll deal with it, and I'll wait with the rest of the fandom for the Insurgent movie. I'm super excited about that too, actually. I'm excited about a lot of things. Oops, I get excited easily. So basically, I think, what's something that pissed me off about this book? Probably just the way that freaking Eric was so ruthless with everyone, and I don't know. I really mainly want to see Four and Triss's scenes on screen. Ooh, the Ferris wheel too. I want to see the Ferris wheel part. This book, I would probably give it 5 out of 5. I honestly didn't find anything wrong with it. Now, I'm sure that when I read Insurgent and Allegiant, I probably won't have the same things to say. The videos for Insurgent and Allegiant will probably be very much longer than this. This book, if it was a standalone book and it ended a little bit different, then I would definitely think that this was a very good book. But I'm just gonna grade each of the 3 books separately. This is a 5 out of 5, definitely. I loved it. I didn't want it to end, but I wanted it to end because I wanted to know how it happened, and I wanted to make sure none of my favorite characters died, and sad part is that a lot of my favorite characters did. But I'm just really excited for Insurgent. I'm gonna be buying a copy of it soon. I don't know what I'm doing over here. La, the book can fly. So basically, I think that's all I have for today. I definitely really enjoyed this book, and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you enjoyed it, send me a message in the comments or on my Tumblr saying what you liked about it. If you haven't seen the movie but you want to, send me some scenes, like your favorite scene that you want to see on screen, or something that you really hope isn't in the movie. Something I really hope isn't in the movie actually is, I think I mentioned it, her parents' death. I want it to be acknowledged, but I mean, I don't want it to be Attack on Titan style where they see where the camera is on the parents as they die. I don't want that. I'm so conflicted about this movie. I think that's all I'm gonna have for you guys today. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you go on tons of adventures. And remember, don't judge a book by its cover or spine, because you never believe the awesome sauce inside. This is proof right here. I mentioned at some point that I don't like dystopian books, but I like this book. So take it from me, you really never know if you're gonna like a book or not until you try it and you read it and give it a chance. Because most books are pretty good. So, but if it's not for you, then it's not for you, at least you gave it a chance. So I'm proud of you, and yeah, I hope you go on tons of adventures. I already said that. Okay, I'm gonna end this video now. Okay, bye!